There's a lot of conflicting advice out there when it comes to using social media and how do we present ourselves on business pages versus personal pages? How do we get the most organic traction? How do we get the most reach? And I've seen a lot of advice thrown around out there in Facebook forums, in programs, and lots of other blogs and things like that, where there are experts out there giving you advice that you should use your personal profile to run your business on social media. And I wanted to hop on today because this came up in our social media course, and I was so grateful that our teacher brought this up, our special friend. And I thought, hey, this is a great opportunity to demystify some of this stuff because I want to make sure that your accounts don't get suspended, that you don't get put in social media jail, and that you don't get shut down because what you do is important. And so today we are going to demystify what we should post on our business pages and what we should post on our personal pages and how we can use both of them to run our business strategically if we know how to engage with the platform. So if you've ever felt kind of confused at all of the advice that you see out there floating around in piano forums and voice forums, or if you've joined different programs that are telling you to do specific things on your personal profile to run your business, I am here today to talk about those things. Welcome to the broadcast, everyone. If you are new here, my name is Sara Campbell. I am a business strategist, marketing, and mindset coach for music studio owners and online education experts just like yourself. And I go live here every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, where we talk about all of those things, where we look at the business strategies that you need to get in place in order to be successful, where we talk all things marketing, because I love to talk about marketing, so that you don't have to show up as what my coach Molly would say, a salesy weirdo. So we talk about how we can become savvy marketers and do it in a way that feels awesome and authentic to ourselves. And we talk about the mindsets that we need in place to do all of those things. So welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. If you are joining me live, please be sure to say hello and let me know where you're tuning in from today. And if you are watching this later on, know that I love to jump back in and have conversations with you. So you can just pretend that it's live. And if you've got questions, go ahead and put your questions in the comments and I will come back around to answer them. All right, let's get to the goods today. Oh, we got a lot to talk about, So we're going to be examining what to post on business pages versus personal profiles and how we can do it in a way that is in line with terms and conditions of the platforms that we use, and so that we can do it in a way that doesn't alienate our audience. So we're going to break it all down today. Hey, Amy's in Pennsylvania for her vacation. Where are you, Amy? Are you on my side of the state? Karen's tuning in from St. Louis. Tara is here. Hey there, Tara. And Leishan is tuning in from Tacoma, Washington. Nice to see you all. Thanks for being here. If you have a teacher friend who might be putting a lot of sales stuff on their personal profile and you want to make sure that they are protected, go ahead and invite them to join us in this broadcast. Let them know that it's here because we're going to have some really important tips, because my goal here today is to make sure that none of you land in jail, in FB jail, right? And none of you get accounts suspended, because I've seen it happen and it's really awful when those things happen. So we're going to go through very specific steps that you need to keep in mind in order to stay in compliance with the social media platforms that you're on, and so that you can show up authentically and well. An hour south of Pittsburgh. Okay, so you and I are like 2 hours-ish away from each other. So sending you vibes down on the other side of Pittsburgh. Jennifer's tuning in from Mount Vernon, Washington. Nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in, my fellow Campbell. All right. Let's get to it, shall we, today? I have the Savvy Sara bot set up. So if you drop a social below, she's going to be sending you some interesting things to consider, the show notes from today, some links that you'll want to take a look at, and she's going to invite you to learn a little bit more about the social media course that I run, which I'll get to later. I just want to remind everybody who's here, we love to learn out loud. So if you hear something today in this broadcast that you are going to implement or something that you didn't know before, go ahead and give us a hashtag takeaway and tell us what that takeaway was. It's really, really helpful for the teachers who are watching this, especially on the rerun, because they'll be able to see all of these takeaways in the comments as the show goes by. Plus, we get to learn together, and that's just fun, right? It's just fun. Hey there, Laura Benton. Nice to see you. Deidre, nice to see you. And Mary. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. So, what should we post on our business page versus on our profile? Here's the deal. I've already said this, but I'm going to reiterate for those who are just tuning in. There's a lot of advice out there that encourages you to use your personal profiles on things like the Book of Face or Instagram, and to use those personal profiles to run your business. Now, I am not saying that all of this advice is incorrect, but what I am going to tell you is that some of this advice is in direct violation with the terms and conditions that you agree to when you create a personal profile on that social media platform. So we're going to examine those, and we're going to then break down why you should be using a business page and how you can use it effectively, and why you can use, or I should say, how you can use your personal profile in order to celebrate your business. So I'm going to give you very actionable steps to make it super clear as to how these two things are different. All right, so step number 1 is to know the terms and conditions of the platform. And you might have briefed over them 10 years ago when you got on the platform, or maybe you've never seen the terms and conditions. But I should also, before I get to the but, and the terms and conditions are really long. So, nobody likes to read epic long pages of terms and conditions, but it is very important to know that there are specific areas of Facebook's terms and conditions that we need to be aware of as business owners, and we need to understand the rules so that we can engage with the platform authentically and that we don't find ourselves in violation. Oh, hey there, Judy. It's so nice to see Judy. Judy is a fellow music teacher coach, and she's absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad that you're here today, Judy. Nice to see you. All right, so knowing the terms and conditions. So I've had a lot of people ask me, where does it say that I can't run a business on my personal page? Well, I've done some digging, and I have found the verbiage. So this, and it was really hard to find, but I know this to be fact because I've worked with many different coaches in the social media realm, and the ones who are the most successful coaches are the ones who are very serious about running their business on a business page and following the terms. This is not to say that they don't talk about their business on their personal profile, but they're savvy enough to know that the terms and conditions are really important to follow, because if we don't follow the terms and conditions, people can report your profile and you can get suspended, which would mean that your personal profile would be completely shut down. You can also get put into Facebook jail, which will suspend your account for a certain number of days depending on what the violation was. So I don't want you to fall into that, because that is a panic-inducing mess, especially if you are pretty active on social media and you're doing a lot of stuff on your pages. So let's talk about the terms and conditions for a second. Where the heck does it say that you can't use your personal profile to run your business? Well, there is a specific part in the community standards section. It's actually section 4 on integrity and authenticity. And so there's a couple of things in here that are really important to consider. So it's all about, creating a safe environment, but I'm actually going to screen share with you here. Let me get this ready. 2 seconds. Boom. And boom. All right, so let's talk about where does it actually say here that you cannot that you can't use your personal profile to run your business. So it's under the spam section, right? We prevent people from abusing our platform, products, or features to artificially increase viewership or to distribute content en masse for commercial gain. And so in that context, they're talking about personal profiles. There's another area that taps into the fact that you should not create, and I've seen this done many, many times, you should not create an additional personal profile to have as your business. Some of you may remember years ago, and I will send you a link to these community standards if you'd like to get a hold of it. Put social down below. But years and years ago, let me bring myself back to the screen here. You used to see people running their studios through a personal page, and they were able to title that personal page to have some type of their business name in it. Now, that shifted a long time ago, right? So you saw people, certain accounts, maybe you have friends who had like words in their name that weren't actually part of their name. So they were showing up inauthentically in that personal profile, because what Facebook wants as a community is for you to be a real human being in your personal profile. So they disabled the feature to create additional personal profiles in order to run a business, first and foremost. Now, what is the lure of using a personal profile? We're going to talk about that in another section here, so hang with me on that. So we're going to break that down, because I totally get it, and I'm going to show you how you can use it in a better way. But need to know the terms and conditions of the platform that the Book of Face has intentionally made business pages a thing so that you can run your business. And yes, I get it. Business pages don't get as high of a reach as when you post on your personal profile, but we're going to break that down and talk about how you can get higher reaches on your business page, and then how you can use your personal profile in a non-salesy way, right? So we're going to get to those in a second. So first, know the terms and conditions of the platform, because if you are in violation of them, you can get suspended, because people can report your account, and if you're really getting spammy on there, you can actually be picked up by bots and suspended. So just keep those two things in mind. But I don't mean to scare you. Let's shift into talking about how you should use things. So why should you use a business page? I'd love to know, for those who are here right now, do you have a business page for your studio? Say, yes, I have a business page, or no, I don't have one yet. I'm not really sure why I should have one. Well, I'm going to tell you why right now. So why should you have a business page, and how should you use it? So first and foremost, the top reason that I tell people to have a business page is because it makes you look like a professional, and because you actually are running a business and you need to treat it as such. You're not just that, and this is a terrible phrase, but the old lady teaching piano down the street, right? And I apologize to the old ladies, because I love you. You are not that piano teacher down the street that's just like running a hobby, right? You are running a legit business. I love it. I see so many yeses here. Yes, I have a business page. Yes, 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 yes. Perfect. Okay, so you want to have a business page because it helps you appear as a professional. Here are two other reasons that you should have a business page. One, it allows you to see the analytics. So it allows you to see what type of content resonates really, really well with people, and it allows you to see what type of content doesn't resonate well. Now, certainly you could see that on your personal profile, right? But you can get better data in the analytics that we can see through a business account. So it makes you look professional. It gives you the ability to have analytics, and also it gives you the ability to advertise. And I don't always suggest to people that you run ads, but there are certain points in your business, especially if you are somebody who is what I would call a next level teacher. If you're selling online courses, if you have an email list, a blog, there are ways to use Facebook ads in a non-weird way in order for people to discover you. So if you're running everything on your personal page, you're not going to have access to any of those things. Final bonus tip about why you should use a business page, and I just learned about it this week, and I'm going to be making a tutorial about this for the Social Media Savvy Studio. if you have a business page, there's a really cool way that you can integrate your social media profiles, your business profiles, with your Google My Business account, so that when you show up in a search, when somebody puts piano lessons near me or, ukulele lessons near me, not only will you show up in the Google results on Google Maps, you will also, on that result, have a direct link over to your Facebook account, over to your Instagram account, over to your Pinterest account, so that people can see the content that you're putting out there, so that they can read the reviews that people are writing, etc. Oh, I just thought of another reason you should use a business page. This is where people can write reviews. They can't write reviews on your personal page. So there you go. What was that? 4 reasons? 5 reasons? Lots of reasons to use a business page. Now, let's shift for a second. And we're going to talk about how you can use your personal profile. Karen says, I want to know how to do that. Yeah, I'm totally going to make a tutorial for you guys. It's on the list. I've got a couple tutorials that will be added later in July. I just have to record them first. Okay, so how can you use your personal profile to run your business? Now, again, at the top, I was like, I'm not going to say that you can't use your personal profile to talk about your business. And I mean that. Your business is a huge part of your life. So it would feel really weird to not talk about what you do on the daily on your personal page. So there are many ways that we can use our personal page to talk about our business that would not be in violation of the terms and conditions. So first and foremost, we can make sure that we have our profiles set up in a way that has links to our websites, that has links to our business pages. We can also use all these little tiny tips and tricks to create featured photos, to have a cover photo that shows what you're doing, and all that stuff. Yeah, we can go over that, right? And I've got tutorials that cover that. But more importantly, the best way that you can use your personal profile is to be a human being and to talk about what you do, to share stories about what is happening in your business, to celebrate the amazing things that are happening. You can use that personal profile to share things from your business account, or you can post them natively and you can tell stories about what's happening. So if you are super excited about welcoming in 5 new students into your studio, make a post about it. Say, oh my gosh, you know what I love about today? Today I get to show up in my studio and I get to meet 5 new piano students, and I am so grateful that they have joined our studio community. Here is to rockin' out as a piano teacher. Super simple. Is it salesy? No. It's not saying piano lessons are now available, right? It is being specific about the celebration, and it's sharing a part of your life that's important. Is that going to get your page shut down? Absolutely not. But here's where we need to be cautious. And I've seen this happen on a lot of different profiles, and I've seen people get shut down for it. If you are using your personal profile and the only thing that you are posting on there is about your business, a couple of things are going to happen. One, you run the risk of actually getting shut down, which would be awful, right? Because then you'd lose access to all of the stuff that you've put on there, and you'd have to start from scratch. Or, kind of worse than that, you start alienating your friends and family because they have signed up on Facebook to see, or Instagram or whatever, they have signed up to see you as a human being, not as somebody who's constantly selling things. So if the sole purpose of you using a personal profile is to just post about your business, people are going to stop paying attention to you. So, and I know that a lot of advice out there is like, the business pages don't get enough traction. They only show it to like 2% of your audience. Like none of my posts get any traction on my business page. Okay, well, let's just use the personal profile because I know that everybody's going to see those. Well, that's actually not true, first and foremost. If people really aren't paying attention to your posts and you're not getting a lot of likes and a lot of comments in your personal profile because all you're posting is stuff about business, guess what? You've been pushed out of the news feed. Facebook will show posts to people that are interesting to them. This goes for business and it goes for personal profiles. So you can use your personal page, but you need to be strategic about it, and you can't show up as a salesy weirdo because you run the risk of getting shut down and you run the risk of alienating the people that you care about. Whew. So those are the 3 tips here. And let me just say, if all of these tips have you going like, oh my gosh, like this is a lot of information, like how exactly do I do all of these things? I want to let you know I've got you covered, right? I have spent the past year, over a year now, creating a social media course that walks you through all of the ways that you can optimize your social profiles, how you can create engaging content, how you can do these like super cool little tricks. You know, it goes from the basics all the way to advanced. And so in that course, I detail all of these things by screen sharing and showing you exactly how to set things up. If we have any social media savvy members here, let me know below. Type savvy or just let me know what you think of the course. We've got a lot of you here today, I believe. And if you would like to learn more about that, this little guy here, I can point at this. Boom. If you'd like to learn more about the social media course, if you give me a social below, right? Drop a social below. The Savvy Sara bot will send you the information and you'll be able to see what is inside of the course. Easy peasy, right? And just so you know, the course price is going up at the end of the month because it now has like 10 times more content than it did when I initially launched it, and it's going to continue growing. So if you've been on the fence, I just wanted to give you a little warning about that. Oh, Christine, I'm so glad you brought this up. Okay, so there is something that was announced recently about Facebook dropping analytics. This is true and also not true. So what Facebook was referring to here was actually referring to a very specific part of analytics that was available in the Facebook Ads Manager, which is totally different than the analytics that you normally look up on your business page. So I'm so glad that you asked that because I got totally freaked out when I got that email. And then I did some digging and I realized the analytics that they are dropping, they're already dropped. They're gone now. Were things that I never looked at. They were in a hidden part of the Facebook business manager and ads manager. And this was something that people who are running lots of Facebook ads would probably be interested in. So I hope that that clears that thing up there. I see. Yes. Okay. So Karen said she got a Facebook warning on her personal page for spam when she shared something. You've appealed it. It's not a very spam. Okay. I want to let you know, Karen, you're not the only one who's getting marked as spam. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. Facebook is about to roll out a lot of changes. Like a lot of changes. The changes that they're going to roll out for the business page are going to be huge. I have not gotten access to the changes yet, but as soon as I do get access, I'm going to be redoing all of the tutorials inside of the course. Okay, good to see that we're not actually frozen. All right, so let's do a speedy recap, shall we? For those of you who just joined, or maybe you're kind of wondering, what did Sara say at the beginning again? All right. Let's talk about what to post and where, because there's a lot of misinformation out there that are, from different forums, from different programs that tell you that you should use your personal page to run your business. Here are 3 tips to consider in when you are making the decisions about where you are going to post things and what you're going to post. Here we go. So the first thing is that you need to know the terms and conditions of the platform that you're on. And if you're not aware of them, you can just Google it, like terms and conditions of Instagram, terms and conditions of Pinterest, yada, yada. Know the terms and conditions. Know that there are specific parts in those terms and conditions. I know they're long and they're hard to read, but there are specific parts that say you cannot use personal profiles as your sole means of running your business. 2, because they have those terms and conditions that in there that tell you you cannot use your personal profile as the only way to run your business. Here are the things that you need to keep in mind. Here are the reasons you should use a business page. One, it lets you show up as a professional, right? Because you have an actual business page, and it tells people that you are treating your business as a business and not just something that you run out of your home. And not that running anything out of your home is in any way not professional, but I'm just saying. So treats you as a pro, right? 2, gives you access to the analytics, which are super important, and you should be keeping an eye and knowing what your analytics are saying. 3, it gives you the ability to advertise if your business is at that point. 4, it gives you the option to, if you play your cards right and you do these specific steps, if you have a Facebook business page or Instagram business page, that can actually get linked up with your Google My Business account, so that when somebody does a Google search for piano lessons near me, not only are they going to see your Google listing, they're going to see the reviews and everything from your Facebook page and all that good stuff. So super savvy. And the 5th one, I can't remember the 5th one. If you want to know the 5th one, go back and watch the rest of the video. Okay, so those are items number 2. And number 3, am I saying that you can't use your personal profile? Not saying that at all. I'm just saying that you need to be strategic and savvy about it. So there are many different places on your personal profile that you can link up your business. There's all kinds of places inside of the intro and like about section on your personal profile. There are featured photos, there are cover photos, yada, yada. But you can also show up authentically and just talk about what's happening in your life. Tell stories about what's happening in your business. And do it in a way where you're not actually selling things. Because guess what? Your best marketing is storytelling. It is not saying, I have room for 5 more students. If you want to join my studio, private message me. Although that can work on your business page. But your most powerful form of marketing is going to be storytelling. So if you learn to be a good storyteller on your personal profile page, it's going to be awesome. All right. So if you have enjoyed today's content, don't forget to share your best takeaways with us and let us know what tip you're going to implement this week and in the coming months. And if you'd like to get a hold of today's show notes, and also I've got links to some terms and conditions and also some other things that I'll send you about the social media course if you're interested in joining me there, drop a social below and the Savvy Sara bot will set you up and she will send you all of the goods. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed today's broadcast, show me a little love right now, and that would be amazing. If you have a teacher friend who you think could benefit from this, or even if it's a small business person, if they are not music related, right? And you've seen them doing stuff on their personal profile that seems a little icky, let them know about this broadcast, right? Let them know about it. So thank you for being here, everyone. My name is Sara Campbell. I am a business strategist, marketing and mindset coach for music studio owners and online education experts just like yourself. And you can find me live here every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And I will see you next week. In the meantime, stay savvy and stay you. Because there is no teacher in the world who is quite like you. And I think you are pretty dang awesome. We will see you next week. Bye.